Welcome to Subramani. I'm going to talk about something very sensitive. Not that I'm an expert in it, right? That is protecting yourself online. I'm sure not a day goes, or maybe not even 6 hours go, when we don't use the internet, right? Or some of the apps, or some YouTube channel. Right now I'm shooting for a YouTube channel, or a WhatsApp, or some downloading an app. Just check your phone. You must be having 70-80 apps, and I am not a big app user, and I still have apps. I have 3-4 apps for airlines. I have my banking apps. I have mutual fund apps. You name it, and everything is there. Something keeps on adding, and then they force something. Do you want a weather app? Do you want a location app? Then there is Ola, there is Uber, there is Swiggy, there is Zomato, and slowly you collect some 30, 40, 50, 80, 90 apps, right? Some of this you use, some of this you don't use, some of this you don't even know why it is there. So having said that, we use the net, so we have to be very careful about what information we are sharing, why we are downloading. We need to know all that, right? And they all ask for your email ID, your PAN number, your Aadhaar number, and all that, especially the finance websites. If you have a website, you have a UPay, BeamPay, UPI website, and all that, all of them will connect to your bank account also. So you have your bank account connected to apps and things like that. Your FASTag is connected to your bank account. So you pass through and straight away it debits your bank account, right? Can you put your credit card there? Check it out. Do whatever you can. It's always nice to make sure that all the debits are happening to your credit card, a credit card with a limit of 75 or 80,000, maybe 1 lakh of rupees, so that the maximum you can lose in an online fraud is 1 lakh. Now, if it is connected to your bank account, chances are someday when there is 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs, somebody could swipe it off, right? So that is the risk that you run. Of course, there are enough safeguards. Always opt for a two method thing, right? So you put in your password, and then it sends you an OTP, so you have a double verification before you have access. It's worth doing that even for your Facebook or for your Twitter or any of those places. As far as possible, in websites which are not very fine, which are not money oriented, use a fake date of birth, right? So that helps, because if something is compromised somewhere, you lose a fake date of birth. So your mother's maiden name, your date of birth, or all those things which are used for authenticating, your PAN number, use all this only when absolutely essential. Your Aadhaar number, right? So don't lose any of those, or even your GST number, because your GST number is derived out of your PAN number. So be careful about what you're giving away, when you're giving away, whose account you're giving away. Perfectly all right, like a friend of mine does, to keep one bank account just for online stuff and transfer money to another account which has no online access, right? You can do all these things. Or you on the account where you don't have online access, you allow direct debits, etc. to happen. Only the bank will debit, right? So you have given the bank instruction to the bank to debit, and not to the other person to take it from your account. So those things, some of those things you can take care of. And if you don't take, and there are other types of fraud where somebody is trying to sell you a bad financial product. I'm not even getting into that. I'm just talking about financial security of your data being stolen. If you can always go and buy a lemon, you can buy a ulip which is bad, you can buy some sandalwood tree or a teak wood tree which is bad. I'm not even talking of going into those areas. I'm just talking about financial security, because if you don't take precautions to secure your personal information, you could become a target of somebody else taking control of your financial data, and all those data, your tax details, everything is lying somewhere in the cloud. As far as possible, try to keep the data with yourself, especially if you're a senior citizen and you don't need to use some of these things. Then make sure that after you use an app, you just delete it. It's okay to have that app again coming into your phone after 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, right? Doesn't really matter. And also take charge of your social media settings, because if you can always go into those settings and say things are not visible to anybody. Your date of birth is not visible, nothing is visible, so it's okay. People will not wish you on your birthday, but make sure that nothing is visible to anybody, not even friends, not even people who are connected. They don't need that information. Who needs it is some troll who wants to collect all the data from you and either sell you a bad product or try to steal money from you. Another thing to which we succumb very easily is looking at a website which looks a lot like our own bank. Let's say your own bank has your own BANKK. You will not be able to make out the difference that this is a BANKK, not a BANK, right? I have seen a very ICICI Bank like website which turned out to be ICICI BANKK. Therefore, I am giving you this example. So be very careful. Even big company and big bank websites are duplicated to get data out of you. Then they would be there on Twitter. You would start following, then you find it's a fake handle, right? So people, you have to be careful about those things. So take control of your social media privacy settings and modify your privacy settings with your specific needs, and you don't have to give more than that. And make sure you check it frequently. You change your password so that you don't want somebody to access even your Twitter account or your Facebook account and all. Of course, your bank account nobody should access, but even these social media accounts you don't want somebody to access. There are some which ask you for a lot of your biographical information, right, to open an account. Be careful about what you're giving. Be careful about your date of birth, your mother's maiden name, your PAN card number, right, all those things, your PAN number. Customize your privacy settings to what others can see. You have time and again people come and tell you don't share your personal information, but everybody, especially senior citizens, succumb to this, saying we are giving you medical discount, so can you please share all this? You will get a 20% discount on the medicines that you buy and it will be home delivered. Absolute sucker punch for a senior citizen, right? 20% discount, home delivery. You don't have to go anywhere, everything will come home. And he could be just wanting all your financial data. Can you share your bank passbook, your bank account, your credit card account, your PIN and blah blah blah, and you don't even realize what you're doing, and suddenly you've lost 25,000, 30,000, 50,000, whatever was lying in your bank account, or your credit card has been Jamtara is a name which at least Indians should be familiar with. It's a location from where all kinds of financial frauds were happening. So here call up a senior citizen and say, sir, you're entitled to a new Maruti car, you're entitled to something, specs, or your airline ticket. We are giving you 2 tickets from Delhi to Agra and 3 nights stay. Any of these things, we are just verifying your bank account, so that, and we will put 1 rupee, and after you get that 1 rupee, just check whether you have got it. We are not doing anything else. So that is what is called a penny drop. So you see money coming into your account, so you're sure that he is genuine or she is genuine, and that's it. That's the last you've heard of them, right? So find out whether, if it's your bank asking you for some details, best is to go to the bank and give it. No bank is today giving you free gifts, right? If anything, they're taking money from you. So that is not happening. Your credit card is not giving you, it's not upgrading you, nothing is happening. If you want it, just walk to your bank and deal with 2-3 banks, big, nice, solid banks. You don't have to look for financial transactions beyond them. Of course, you need to deal with the mutual fund separately. You need to deal with the bank separately. You don't need to deal with the bank to deal through your mutual fund, right? You can deal with all of them online. Mutual fund will just be setting up an instruction. So go to the mutual fund office and set up the SIP instruction. If you're not comfortable doing it online, you will have to give a copy of your checkbook or check or anything like that, but at least you're doing it inside the office of a mutual fund. Very unlikely that somebody from there will steal your data. So be careful about with whom you're sharing your data, and make sure that while you're applying, while you're downloading apps to your phone, make sure that you read some of the fine print at least. None of us do, but make sure that you read some of it, understand. And because some of these apps and all share your data with others, so be careful about that. And if you are a person who uploads a lot of photographs, etc., you will run out of space. So make sure that you buy space and you keep photographs, etc., rather than financial information. So just be careful about all this. Make sure that you keep changing your password. Make sure that your kids know what you're doing. See what you must do, what you can do, and be very careful about all your information which you are sharing with anybody, whether it's an app or any mutual fund fund, bank, etc. Be very careful, and if you must share, go to the bank and share. Don't share it online. It's worth it. Thank you.